Dendritic drainage pattern areas are also the areas that prospect for placer deposits of native gold and platinum, not just hard rock ores. For simplicity, I will refer to gold only, but the same rules apply to prospecting for placer deposits of platinum. The ores containing native gold erode due to weathering, and as the encasing rock breaks down, it produces alluvial placer deposits, the bench placers. These deposits form on the slopes of hillsides where a depression or wide level spot occurs downslope of the eroding in situ, which is in place, hard rock deposits from which the gold is eroding from. Gold that works its way downslope to an area that is wide and flat produces an area known as an alluvial placer. Desert areas are places where this type of deposit can be found, as well as areas that are predominantly dry, whether hot or cold. They are most common in mild temperature and temperate areas with moderate rainfall that washes the gold downslope, concentrating it in wide shallow depressions that fill with sediment washed into it by runoff water created by rainstorms. The gold fields of California are a prime example of these two types of deposits. From this point, whether or not alluvial deposits and or alluvial deposits form, if a hard rock source of gold exists upslope, the gold is washed into watersheds, runoff water drainage systems, where it forms stream or river placers. The following is an explanation on how to work these deposits. When working gravel bars, concentrate on those on the inside of a bend in a river. Bends at an angle of 45 to 75 degrees are the most productive. Of these types of bends, the ones flowing over bedrock or over compacted clay or clay and gravel conglomerate are the best types of underlying ground for holding and concentrating particles of nuggets and gold, silver, platinum, and native copper. Look for quartz, agates, and other silicate minerals, as well as tire weights, fishing sinkers, nails, wire, buckshot, etc., mixed in with the black sand within these bends. They are prime indicators that conditions are correct for precious metals to have been concentrated there. Sluice, pan, or dredge from the surface down in these areas. If you wish to dig, then do so, but make sure that you work all gravel from about 14 inches above the hard pan, rock or clay soil, river or stream bottom. Dig out whirl holes, the potholes, and the bedrock bottoms of stream beds. Pan, sluice, or dredge the material out of these depressions. This material will often contain fine gold nuggets, if coarse gold can be found in the region being prospected. Cracks and crevices are a good place to look for gold as well. Dig, break open, scratch, or scrape out the sediment from these and pan it. Cracks and crevices parallel to the flow of water are the best to look in, as they seem to catch more gold than cracks and crevices that cross the flow of water. I have never found any that cross the flow of water at an angle, but would like to. The downstream 1/3 of a crevice like that would contain concentrated values that fell into it, then agitated along the bottom of the crack or crevice until it reached the downstream end and lodged there. Rootwads and grass and other vegetation growing on bedrock is also prime material to break apart, then pan or sluice. Areas that widen out within a flow of water where the sand, gravel, and rocks are dropped out and concentrate are good places to pan, sluice, or dredge as well. In these areas, keep a lookout for stretches of ground that have an abundance of tumbled, somewhat round rocks above the current water flow. These areas are places where water once flowed and are now exposed chunks of ancient river channel. This material can be screened, then panned, sluiced, high banked, or dry washed. After you have panned, sluiced, high banked, or dry washed your pay dirt, you will be left with an abundance of black sand and mostly fine gold, unless you are really lucky, and some people are. The best method that I know of for recovering your gold from black sand would be to put your sand into a rock tumbler or a modified concrete mixer with steel balls and a small amount of mercury. Turn the unit on and let it operate until all the sand has been crushed flour fine to recover all the visible fine gold, as well as any encapsulated gold bound up in the solid solution with the black sand into the mercury. Once the sand has been crushed flour fine, carefully pour off the water. The remaining sand can be ran through a blue bowl with spiral concentrators, such as a gold wheel, or carefully panned in order to recover your mercury. Place a piece of cotton or filter paper inside a 500 cc or larger syringe, then carefully pour your mercury into the syringe. Then replace the plunger and depress it, forcing the free mercury out through the tip into a container. The gold amalgam will be left inside the syringe against the cotton or filter paper. Carefully remove the cotton or filter paper with the gold and place it in a Pyrex dish and cover with a solution of 1 part nitric acid and 4 parts water. Place the dish on a hot plate from an electric coffee maker and let it gently heat up. The remaining mercury will go into solution and the gold will remain. Place a coffee filter in a plastic funnel, then place the funnel into a glass dish in order to support it and act as a reservoir for the solution containing the mercury. Pour the solution from the dish with the gold into the funnel and let filter. Rinse the dish with some extra water to make sure the old gold has been removed from the dish and is now into the filter. Spritz the filter and gold with clean water to remove any remaining nitric solution containing mercury and let drip as well as sit until dry. Important, must be distilled water, not city tap water, because it's got chlorine in it. And if you mix that with the nitric, you're going to create aqua regia and it will dissolve your gold. Side note. Once dry, the filter and gold can be melted with borax to produce a single mass of gold. Place a piece of copper plate into the nitric solution and let sit overnight. The mercury will drop out of solution as free mercury within the solution, with some adhering to the copper plate, which can be scraped off and the solution filtered to recover the rest. I hope this has been of some help to you and others. Questions, comments, and suggestions are welcome and appreciated. Sincerely, Rick the Rockman, the Geotech Analyst.